Hi, and welcome to the 8th chapter of the Conan the Barbarian Red Nails. The 8th chapter is 20 Red Nails. Well, let's start. And my name is Juan Carlos. I'm proud to say me. Well, let's start. Two Tecutli soldiers sat in the guardroom by the door of the eagle, usually watchful. They were now racing. An attack on the great metal door from outside was possible, but for many years their enemies had never tried it. The strangers are good allies, began one. Everyone says Olmec will move against the enemy tomorrow. The other went, and if destroyed Chocolatl, what will happen then, Watchmek? Well, excellent, replied Tagmek. We'll put more red nails in the pillar, I suppose, and if we take any prisoners, we'll take their skin off and cut them into quarters. Excellent. Went on. But after we've killed them, won't it seem strange to have no enemy? All my life, I fought and hate the Chocolatans, but when the feud ends, what will we do? Chagmes shrugged his shoulders. He couldn't manage to think of a life without the feud. Then suddenly, both men sat up. They had heard something outside the door. Hamed, sword in hand, put his ear to the door. Excellent look into the mirror device. His eyes wearily in surprise a crowd of servants stood outside. They were holding their swords in their teeth, and they had a finger in their ears. One of them, with feathers on his head, held some pipes in his hands. He lifted this to his lips, and just as Excellent started to give a warning cry, he began to play them. The cry died in the guard throat as the theme. Strange music came through the thick metal of the door and reached his ears. Chagmet stood bent forward against the door, unable to move. His face was wooden as he listened to those maddening pipes. Excellent, who was further away, noticed how the unnatural music filled his own head with strange and crazy ideas. With a great effort, he broke the spell and showed the ground. The others in the castle of an enemy attack. Suddenly the piper blew, harder and faster. Now the music was high and fierce, like a knife. In an Excellent's ears, Joanna screamed in sudden pain, and all the reason left his face. Like a light dying in the wine, he pulled back the bolts on the door, opened it, and ran out into the hall beyond. 12 swords cut him down, and the Jotalakan stepped quickly over his wounded body and ran into the guardroom with a long, loud cry. With an edge in his head from the shock of it all, Excellent jumped to meet them with a spear in his hand. The trivial magic of the pipes was less important now than the fact that the enemy fighters were in Tecotli. He drove his spear into Xochitlan's side, and then a sword crashed down hard on his skull, and he knew no more. But just then, other Wailari Tenochtitl fighters ran into the war room from the house behind it. It was the shouting of men and the noise of sword against sword that made Conan jump from his couch. Fully awake, this sword in his hand in a second, he had reached the door and thrown it open. He soared out into the corridor just as Tenochtitl hurried up to him, his eyes shining mildly. "The Chonatls!" he cried. "They're inside our castle!" Conan was running down to the corridor when Valeria suddenly came out of her room. "What's happening?" she called. "Tenochtitl says that Cholits are installed inside the Tenochtitl key," he answered. With Tenochtitl close behind them, they ran into the throne room and saw a terrible picture there. 20 Tenochtitlan, men and women, their long black hair flying out behind them and white skulls on their chests. "We're locked in battle with the people of Tenochtitlan. The women both sides fought as madly as the men, and already the room and the hall behind were full of dead bodies. Olmec was fighting for his life by the Black Pillar, and as the adventure center, Tascala ran into from a room behind the pillar with a sword in her hand. Why the Tenochtitlans decided to enter their enemy's castle? There were many reasons. They had lost more than the Tenochtitlan supposed. With the burning school now destroyed and the crowded nobody wounded, things seemed hopeless for them. Add to that, they had heard the news whispered by the dying man, what mysterious foreign had joined their enemies to fight against them. All these of things together made them decide to die bravely, killing their all enemies. After the first shock of attack, the Tenochtitlan fought back fiercely. It was bitter battle to the death. The final fight after 50 years of the feud, and everyone knew it. The end was no surprise. There were twice as many Ticulos as Tonjatals, and they were more confident of success too. Because Conan and Valeria were fighting beside them, Valeria was fast on her feet and quick with her sword, which danced in her hand like with fire. Conan was sure-footed and terrible strong, a real killing machine. None of the Tenochtitlans stood a chance against him. It was not long before the last of them fell dying to the ground. Those Tenochtitlan still standing look around in surprise at the dead bodies of friends and enemies lying on the floor. There's one on your leg, Conan said to Valeria. She looked down, for the first time noticing the pain. Some dying man on the floor behind her had driven his knife into the back of her leg with a last effort. Olmec walked over them, his eyes shining fiercely. We win, he cried. The feud is finished. The dogs of Jonlang lie dead. It's good to look at their fierce faces. 20 dead dogs. 20 the red names for the Black Pillar. But are you sure that this is all of them? Asked Conan. Yes, a chief doesn't divide his army in an attack like this. I promise you, we've killed them all. There were fewer of them than I dreamed. But how could they enter our castle? Just then Tascala came toward them with her sword in one hand. In the other hand she held the pipes that she had taken from the feather chief of the Chokinaltan class. Here are the pipes of madness, she explained. One of our fighters told me that Chengmet had opened the door our enemies after they played this. This feature arrived from the general in hall just in the time to see all this happen and to hear the last stranger notes of some music that turned his blood to ice. In the old days, Tolmec spoke of these pipes. The Tenochtitlans had said they were hiding in the catacombs with the bones of the whole wizard, who once played them. In some way, the men of Chonja found them and learned their secret. Why don't we check if any fighters in Chonja are still alive? Asked Conan. I'll go if someone shouts me the way. Who will take Conan and Chonja? Asked Olmec. Tenoch stepped forward. He had but a cut down one side of his body. I will, he said. No, you won't, said Conan. And you're not going to enter Valeria? Not with your leg like that. I'll go, said the young fighter, cleaning a small cut on one arm. Very well, Janet. Go with the barbarian. You too, Topol. Olmec pointed to older man who had as small cuts on him. But first, let's carry those people who are hurt to the crunches. Our nurses can take better care of them. They did this quickly, as they bent to pick up woman that the Jonas had knocked on the head with a big fighting stick. Olmec's beards brushed against Topol here. Conan thought that Prince whispered something to the fighter, but he couldn't be sure. A few moments later, he was walking with Janet and Topol down the hall to the metal entrance door. Well, This is the eighth chapter, and thanks for seeing me. And see you later. Thanks. See you in the ninth chapter.